So Chaitanya Bhagavat, 8th chapter, 67th verse. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's expert intelligence and expertise in refuting the statements, challenging the senior boys has been given. So one of the boy who was going on asking the questions, he says, you go home, tomorrow we'll meet. I'll give you another statement. You should refute it. So let us see. जलक्रीडा करे प्रभु शिष्य गण संगे क्षण क्षण गंगारो पारे याय रंगे. So while sporting in the Ganga, the Lord and his friends would sometimes swim on the other side. Bahu manoratha purve achila gangar yamuna yamunar dekhi krishna chandir vihar. So seeing the good fortune of Yamuna in obtaining the association of Lord Krishna, Ganga had cherished the desire for the same opportunity. So in the Krishna Leela, Yamuna has the fortune. So in Chaitanya Leela, Ganga has the fortune. In Ranganatha's Leela, Yamuna has the fortune. Kave haibeka mora Yamunara bhakya niravadi Ganga yi balilena vakya. So Ganga is to constantly pray. When that bhagya will come to me, when am I going to be as fortunate as Yamuna? So you may ask, why such type of jealousy is there? It can be called as enviousness also, isn't it? Why she is having, why not I? But in the spiritual world, desire to have Krishna is not jealousy, is not enviousness. Neither it is a competition. It is desire. Desire to have Lord. Yadyapi Gangaji, Yadyapi Gangaja Bhavadi Vandita, Tatapi Yamunara Padasi Vanchita. So Ganga is worshipped by Brahma, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva holds her on his head, his jata. Still Ganga desires to have the fortune of Yamuna. You see, great personalities are worshipping her. But still she wants that the Krida which Lord does, or the Leela which Lord does in Yamuna, that fortune even I should have. Vancha Kalpataru Prabhu Shri Gaura Sundara Janavira Vancha Purna Kare Nirantara. Lord Gaur Sundar is like a wish fulfilling tree, Vancha Kalpataru, that constantly satisfies the desires of Ganga. Janavira Vancha Purna. Kare Bahu Vidha Krida Janavira Jale Grahe Ailena Gaura Chandra Kutuhale. So after enjoying various pastimes, Lord is returning home. Yatha vidhi kare Prabhu Shri Vishnu Pujana Tulasira Jalatiya Karena Bhujana. So it is said in the evening hours, one should worship Lord. Especially in the evening hours, it is said Vishnu Sahasranam should be chanted. By 6:30, 7 o'clock, one should return home. At least by 6 o'clock, 6:30. Nowadays, children go to play like anything. Evening hours are to come back. It's to such an extent it is said 6 to 7 you should be at home worshipping Lord. That is the time Lakshmi enters, and one should offer diya, chant Vishnu Sahasranam. So chanting process, some chant Ram Raksha. These all things has to be taught to the children. Parents should be there at home that time. 6 to 7, that is the hours where Lakshmi enters. And that is the time more of recitation should happen. Now see, Lord has come back, took bath, and afterwards worship Vishnu. And after watering Tulasi, he took his meal. That means around before sunset, night meal should finish. This is the culture actually. Nowadays, what is the culture is, people go 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, they just go outside. Whenever they feel like coming to the home, they'll come and whatever is kept in the fridge, they will just take it. This is not the way. Parents should inculcate culture. For that, parents should be at home. At least mother should be at home. If mother only goes out, then what will happen? 6 to 7. At least as devotees, we should follow this. 6 to 7, wherever you are, come back. If you are in the temple, be in the temple. Or 6 to 7, try to come back. At least the mothers should be at home. Light the lamp. Teach the children to chant Harinam, chant many shlokas are there. Vishnu Sahasranam is there. Rama Raksha is there. Bhojana Kariya Matra Prabhu Se Kshane Pustaka Laya Gya Vasena Nirjana. So after finishing his meal, Lord took his books and sat in a solitary place. That is how the children study for some time, and afterwards there should be an early rest. Apane Korina Prabhu Sutrera Tippani Bulla Pustakarase Sarvadeva Mani. The Lord, who is a crest jewel among the demigods, fully absorbed himself in his studies and composed his own commentary on the sutras, Tippani. Tika, Tippani. So in this way, Lord did his Swadhyay very nicely. Nowadays, children are sent only to the classes. Why? More time pass. Children, they don't study on their own at all. They don't want to study. Once you have heard from the teacher, one has to do Swadhyay. It is not that every time somebody should be behind. Now, are we finding Sachimata, Jagannath Mishra sitting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to study? No. You will say he is God, our children are ordinary children. Our children are not given proper food, that is why they are brainless. They don't have intelligence only. Proper food raises the intelligence, proper time, proper food is very, very important. From all these things, we should learn also. Not just, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing, he can do, we cannot do. The discipline which has been taught, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should sit and study then? He need not have to sit and study. He is teaching this by his example. Yadida chariti shreshthas tatpate vetarochanaha sayat pramanam kurte lokas tadanu vartate. So that is how Mahaprabhu, the great souls, they teach us by setting an example. So he used to sit in a solitary place and study. And give tika tippani to the word sutrera tippani refers to the commentary on the commentary of Kantantra Sutra composed by Sarvavarma. The phrase Sarvadeva Mani refers to the Lord of Lords. Dekhiya Anande Bhashe Mishra Mahashaya Ratri Dine Harishe Kichui Na Janaya. So he saw his son studying very attentively. Every parent like that. When they see the children studying attentively, they like. So Lord Jagannath Mishra was very much in happiness and forgot whether it was day or night. Actually, parents should just observe. Here, mother sit with the children, father sit with the children. Why? Let them give them time to think, time to contemplate. Just behind the children, study. Children actually lose interest. And then some aims to be kept and just be behind the children like dogs, always barking at them. Let them study. Whatever is there in their bhagya, they will study. And then give them the best schooling. Once best schooling is done, teachers, whatever they teach, they should come, contemplate. Somewhat here and there, help parents can give. But one should not be so much behind the children that children actually lose interest in studying. Dekhite Jagannatha Pramukha Niti Paya Anirvachantya Sukha. So Mishra felt indescribable happiness on seeing the face of his son. Niti means every day when he saw his son studying very nicely, he was very happy. So that happiness has to be expressed. That is the motivation for the children. That is how in our days also our parents used to grow like this. My mother was very expert in cooking. She used to cook the best and give us. So the first thing is Annamayo Kosha. This Annamayo Kosha has to be fulfilled properly. This Annamayo Kosha, if it is kept in happiness, this Annamayo is in satisfaction, automatically Ganamayo, Vijnanamayo, all this is nourished. So that nourishment is neglected by the parents. They just keep something rafalle, some here and there ice creams. So first, Annamaya Kosha should be nourished nicely. If that eating is nice, everything is nice, children automatically study. Somewhere here and there, help can be given. That too, time is very important. One should be like a military. In the military, time is very important. So children development also should be like a military, like how military education is there. 6 o'clock, come back home. 6 o'clock, go and take bath and sit and chant the shlokas. 7 o'clock, sit and study for some time. So these all things are you feed the child, and then make the child study. This is the way the parents should grow the children. Just whole day, my mother is not at all interested in lighting the lamp. Also, mothers look very shabby. Children also look very shabby. Yai mate putrera rupakore mishrapana shasarire sayujya haila kibatana. So Jagannath Mishra drank the nectarian beauty of sun's form in such a way that he merged in transcendence while still in his body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking so effulgent. And his grave composure was giving more satisfaction to to Jagannath Mishra. So Shasharire Sahuchya is explained in this way. When a conditioned soul is freed from gross and subtle bodies or designations, he attains the liberation of Brahma Sahuchya. That is, merging with Brahman, or in other words, he becomes dormant. This is the conclusion of the impersonalis. But Jagannath Mishra is not different from Vasudeva, the shelter of Vatsalya Rasa in the transcendental realm of Goloka, beyond the material creation. He was so absorbed in seeing the beautiful form of Gaura, the personality of Godhead, as his son, that he continually remained merged in an ocean of bliss. Ordinary people did not consider him as Vasudeva, the personification of pure goodness. They considered him a conditioned soul fit for Sahucha Mukti like themselves. In fact, they considered that Jagannath Mishra had already attained Sahucha Mukti, the state of becoming dormant in his present gross and subtle bodies. But according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 6.268, a pure devotee does not like even to hear about Sahucha Mukti, which inspires him with fear and hatred. Indeed, the pure devotee would rather go to hell than merge into the effulgence of the Lord. Also in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 9.267, pure devotees reject the 5 kinds of liberation. Indeed, for them, liberation is very insignificant because they see it as hellish. In this regard, one should refer to the descriptions of the pure devotion service performed by Rishabdev's sons. Rishabdev's son Bharat, as narrated by Sri Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.14.44. Description of Sahuja Mukti are described in Madhva Sampradaya's philosophy of Shuddha Dvaita. Unless there is a reciprocation between the worshipable Supreme Lord and the servants, the mood of worshipper and the worshipable cannot exist. Therefore, Sahuja Mukti referred to herein is the attainment of the lotus feet of Vishnu. It certainly does not refer to become one with the Lord or merging with Brahman. Of Mukti, that is Sastri, Samipya, opulence like Lord, having the abode of Lord, becoming one with God, looking like Lord, having beauty, having opulence. So all these things are not desired by Salokya, having the Loka of Lord. So all these things are not desired by a devotee. Yamanam na pashyanti vina mat sevanam jarahan. If you are not giving me your service, I don't want all these things. That is what we say. So here, Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam, that is Vasudeva, the personification of pure goodness. Oh, Sahujya, according to impersonality, is becoming one with God. But the Sahujya, according to Dvaita philosophy, is maintaining one's identity. Krishna says, Natvevaham jatunasam, natvam neme janadipa, nachaiva na bhavishyama, sarve bhayamataparam. You, me, and all these kings were existing in the past also, in the present also, and will continue to exist. That means individuality of the soul is always there, is always present. So the Vaishnava description about Sahujya is taking shelter of Krishna. Impersonalists, where they don't understand the person, they don't have the understanding of the personal individual identification of Krishna. For them, what is this Sahujya Mukti, becoming one with God? That is why they consider everybody as God. They consider themselves also as God. Sahujyava kona anupadhi aupadhi sukhatane sahujyadi sukhamishra alpakvari mane. Jagannath Mishra, however, considered the happiness of merging with the Lord to be most insignificant. What is the use? Kona means what is the use of becoming one with God? The word tane means to him or for him. Aupadi sukha. Aupadi sukha means the happiness derived through one's gross and subtle forms from one's temporary sense gratification, desire for liberation. This is nothing like the happiness experienced by the Atmaram or the self-realized souls from the unalloyed service to Gaur Sundar. The word alpa means tiny, insignificant. So in the previous paragraph, it is said, aupadhi sukha. That means it is so insignificant. The happiness which is derived by this material body, maybe in the level of mind, intelligence, false ego, that is in the level of subtle body, in the level of gross body, this is considered to be very insignificant before the happiness which is experienced by the self-realized souls. So that is why alpa has been spoken. It is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Adi 6.44 and 7.85, 97 to 98. The conception of servitude to Krishna generates such an ocean of joy in the soul that even the joy of oneness with the Absolute, if multiplied 10 million times, could not compare to a drop of it. So, Dasya Bhava is so wonderful that Sahujya Mukti is considered to be very, very insignificant, becoming one with God. For a devotee who has actually developed bhava, the pleasure derived from dharma, artha, karma, kama, moksha, appears like a drop in the presence of the sea. Again, for purushartha is also compared to just like a drop. Compared to the ocean of transcendental bliss that is tasted by chanting the holy name, the pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realization is like a shallow water in a canal. Now let's see. One who has developed bhava, for him, for purushartha is insignificant, is just like a drop. One who has developed love for chanting the holy name, for him, such a Brahman realization, impersonal Brahman realization, is considered to be like a shallow water in a canal. My dear Lord, O Master of the universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Being situated in that ocean, I now realize all other so-called happiness to be like the water contained in the hoof print of a calf. In the chapter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describing the glories of pure devotional service, it is said, Manageva parudhayam hridaya bhagavatartau purusharthas tuchatavaras trunayante samantatah. So even if a devotee has developed a very little quantity of pure devotional service, he has such an intelligence to kick out All other happiness derived by this four purushartha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Brahmanando bhaveteshah chet parardha gunitah naiti bhakti sukham bodhe paramanu tulam api. So if Brahmananda means merging in Brahman, even if it is multiplied, if the bliss is multiplied, somebody is gaining bliss in the Brahmananda, even if it is multiplied 100 trillion times, let's see, 100 trillion times, still so confidently it is said that it would not still equal even an atomic fragment of the ocean of transcendental bliss felt in devotional service. So that is the power of devotion. Sridhar Swami has written in Bhavartha Deepika as follows: virtuous people who joyfully relish recitation of your sweet pastimes consider the four goals of human life to be insignificant. The mind absorbed in bhakti without desire for insignificant things brings people to life with prema. Those devotees absorbed only in service to the lotus feet of Lord have no desire for liberation. So the proof of this is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So many verses are there: 3.4.15, 3.25.34, 36, 4.9.10, 4.20.25, 5.14.43, 6.11.25, 6.17.28, 7.6.25, 7.8.42, 8.3.29.21.12, 10.16.7, 37, 11.14.14, and 11.20.34. So you can study all these where very clearly it has been said, those who are in the service of Lord, that is enough for them. They don't have any desire for liberation. Liberation in merging with Lord, running away from the situation, going somewhere in a solitary place, not interested in association of devotees, not interested in worshipping Lord, not interested in doing any seva, not interested in chanting the holy name. So such people, such happiness is very, very negligible before the happiness derived in serving for Krishna. Make flowers for Krishna, bloom for Krishna, decorate Krishna, feed Krishna. So devotional service gives a personal understanding. You love someone, then naturally you serve that person. Then to experience that love for Krishna, because it is the eternal qualification, or you can say eternal quality of Jiva. He is eternally related with Krishna. So to that understanding that eternal relationship, one has to serve Krishna. If one doesn't serve Krishna, then he can never understand his position with Krishna, that he is servant of Krishna. So the festivals, whatever we are celebrating, that gives an opportunity to every jiva, every devotee to take part in the seva. We just see, even if a small service is given or if a small service is done, that happiness which is derived, that is like so many 100 times, 1,000 times, million times more than the happiness which is derived by sitting alone, isn't it? So here Jagannath Mishra Paye Bahu Namaskara Ananta Brahmanda Natha Rupayandra. I offer unlimited obeisances to the feet of Jagannath Mishra, whose son was the Lord of innumerable universes. That is how the parents of great souls are respected, because they have got that Sukruti to be the father and mother of such a great souls. Yei matra Mishra Chandra dekite putrere niravadhi bhase pipra ananda sagare. So when he saw his son, whenever he saw, Mishra Chandra would float in an ocean of bliss. He'll say, what is this Chandra? Suddenly has come Jagannath Mishra, Mishra Chandra. This is actually the family surname with Chandra added out of affection. Mishra is their surname, Jagannath Mishra, Mishra. He belongs to the Mishra family. Chandra is just out of affection. कामदेव जिनिया प्रभु से रूप वनावन प्रति अंगे अंगे से लावण्य अनुपमा. So Lord's beauty surpassed Cupid. Each of the limbs were looking so beautiful at that time. Jagannath Mishra thinks, इहा देखे मिश्र चंद्र चिंतेन अंतरे डाकिनी दानव पाचे पुत्रे बलकवरे. At that time he was afraid that Dakini, the female followers of Rudra, a follower of Bhadrakali, a witch or a sorceress, Danava, the sons of Danu, the wife of Kashyap Muni, daughter of Prajapati Daksha, Balakare, to overpower and influence. I'm afraid that he may be attacked by ghosts or demons. That is how Drishti. So the parents are very afraid. The moment they see your child is looking very beautiful, then immediately they try to remove the Drishti because they are afraid some negative elements should not attack them. So that is how this is the height of love, the highest form of love, where Drishti is removed. Generally, they don't put their own children's many activities also. They have that fear, everybody may look at it. So like that, it's nothing but expression of love, concern. Mean is love and concern. So I'll stop here. Any doubts you can ask. One more seva for, because now 15 days, Jagannath is very sick. So requesting devotees to make some medicinal food for Jagannath. So how to make them, you can ask Sudhir Prabhuji. Generally, methi laddus are made. A lot of ghee is good. One or two items I can teach you all. But take this as a seva, discuss among yourself. To those who are staying in Thane, they can take this as a service and send laddus. You can send for 2 days also. Some medicinal food, like you have on South Indian make in Diwali. It's known as Amma Marandu, where dhania, then adrak, those things are put. So that also can be done. So Sugandhi can take, ask her mother, if you know to make, you can make that. That also you can say. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubheva cha, patitanam pavanebhyo, Vishnu.